we have a fellow Leo in the house, Kevin McCall.
Leo gang.
And you know Melissa. You know Melissa Ford. Have you ever met?
We have never met.
Really?
We've never met.
Oh.
No.
I thought it was this lady from the choir from church. And then I was like, wait, that's not her. She don't look that good.
Well, most men that have been with her praise God afterwards. So
praise God. Hallelujah over here.
Amen.
Do it.
And this is our guest host. You can introduce yourself.
Chuck, man. Me and Kevin, we see each other around. Yeah, we see him around town.
Dark-skinned niggas unite. Like a light-skinned community, we do not know how to get along.
You sure don't.
Speaking of light-skinned people, shout out to Chris Brown. But
right out the gate,
he going right there.
No, you know, Kevin and I are both Leos. His birthday's coming up. I ran into him the other day at the Black Lives Matter event. You know,
yes,
we've had another shooting since then. Did you hear about the guy in Miami that was shot yesterday?
I'm from Watts, so it's shootings every day.
Right, but that's typically black on black crime now.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
I'm Native American, so.
Are you really? Okay, so Kevin is full of shit today. Okay, so no, I wanted to talk to Kevin because we like to talk about trending topics.
You like to talk. You sure do, Jason. You're my brother, but you like to talk. Go ahead.
And you are very active on social media.
Constant trending topic.
Clearly,
constant
I like to
trending.
talk
You're very active on Twitter. Extremely active on Twitter. That's how I feel like I know you. Yeah.
No, if you think you know me from Twitter, you don't know me at all.
Okay.
Well, I know you outside of Twitter, so I'm going to be the guy that knows you outside of Twitter. They know you on Twitter, so I wanted to just jump right in. So, okay, we're playing.
Or should we jump into all the ladies you introduced me to, the models,
We're not going to talk about you fucking Jordin Sparks or whatever sexual thing. Okay, so you guys didn't fuck her.
Devil is a lie.
Okay, but you guys were sexually involved, though. It's okay. This is uncensored.
What are you talking about? No air. Right now, I don't have no air.
You left her with no air?
No, man.
We were actually talking about finger
y'all
banging.
In the Breakfast Club.
We were talking about.
Is this
finger-
how y'all get down?
Yeah.
We were talking.
All right, I'm ready now. No shots, no Patron, no nothing.
No,
just
we were talking about finger banging earlier. So your relationship with Jordin Sparks. Let's talk about that. Because I introduced them. I'm thinking he does music, she does music.
Jason brokers a lot of vagina in this town.
But they got together and then all of a sudden they made music.
Who?
Y'all didn't make a music that hit the air, but y'all made some music.
I never made music with Jordin Sparks.
Okay, so you were never sexually involved with her at all?
Never. I did make music with her one time.
Okay.
But Chris Brown was involved, and I don't do threesomes, so that ain't how it went.
Okay.
Okay, well,
wherever you going with it.
Shout out to Jordin. Okay, so okay, so wait,
hold on. So let's talk a little bit about.
She like Jason Derulo, so
that's
Does
okay.
She still?
She like guys that pop lock, and I'm too buff for that. So
okay, listen. Wait, we're playing deuces. We're playing deuces.
We are, but hold on. Listen, you're straight up no lubrication.
Okay.
Like, come on. Hold on one second.
Hey.
For our guests who don't know Kevin McCall, don't know anything about your history, like, let's talk a little bit about the man behind the tweets, behind the controversy and stuff like that. So you were
this really quickly.
Okay.
Nothing. Go ahead.
I'm just seeing where she going with this.
No. Just personal history. You played football while you were in college. You're in the choir. That kind of thing.
I was in the choir in church and stuff.
I mean, like we just listened to Karrueche. You have an amazing voice.
R&B singer. Grew up listening to like Tyrese. I actually used to go to his talent shows at Locke High School down the street.
Watts connection right there.
But
okay, so we're listening to Deuces is
that's all
playing.
I have to say about Tyrese.
Deuces is playing under the interview for people on the radio that are listening. Deuces, as I came to know it, was the song that pretty much brought Chris Brown back from his fall from grace when he had the abuse situation with Rihanna. How did that song come about? Because I really don't know the history. I've never asked you.
It was a song I wrote about my first baby mama and my first love who broke up with me, and I felt like, I don't know, they missed out on a good deal. So I wrote the song. I was feeling myself, played it for Chris. He wanted it.
And then that was it.
I signed some paperwork, fucked my life over, and there you have the song.
So let's talk about that.
That's it in a nutshell.
Well, let's talk about that because I remember the days where you and Chris were actually good friends and working and collaborating. How did it go from that?
Because that's the kind of guy I am. I have a real good heart, and I love real hard. So some of the stuff you see on Twitter is just,
it's passion.
Passion, confused love, or me trying to get a reverse reaction out of somebody. And it works.
So what happened?
Not with my baby mama, it don't work.
Well, let's talk. We're going to talk about Eva in a minute, but how did you and
I wasn't talking about her. I have two baby mamas.
Okay, but we're going to talk about Eva today. How did you and Chris go from deuces to deuces with just a middle finger?
Mm-hmm.
He got on that bullshit, yeah.
Okay.
To make a long story short, like paperwork wasn't legit, and I kind of blame that on myself. Like I kind of have to change the narration that I've been given. It's not a woe is me story. I signed it, but at the same time, it'll be like me bringing my partner in here and saying, "Look, you trust me, right? Sign this." And that's kind of what happened.
Mm. So in one of your interviews, I think you did with Vlad, you talked about him not wanting you to work with Keke Palmer. That's where it started to fall apart.
One more time. What'd you say?
You said you hate Vlad?
He get on my nerves.
Okay, in the interview.
I just don't see why so many non-black people controlling black news or black hip hop stuff. We don't control nothing that we create. Starting back with jazz, rock and roll, and I could keep going.
So in that interview, you talked about you and Chris coming to heads over you wanting to work with Keke Palmer. And so is that where it really started, or do you feel like there was some envy between you two before that even came to play?
It started when Rihanna came in the studio and he was playing my songs and she kept saying, "Wait, we're going to get to your stuff, play his again." Or is that you? That's him? Play his again. And I'm like, oh my goodness, please do it, but don't do it. I don't know what to do. So it started way back then.
So you felt that Rihanna was choosing just on the music? She was
just it's good music is good music. You know what I'm saying? I like her music too.
So you and Rihanna never had a sexual relationship though?
No, never.
Did she ever try to pursue you or you pursue her? Nothing?
No.
Okay.
Okay, so listen. So for our listeners,
I'm a shy guy. I don't really be choosing.
They choose
Like
you.
they
Not
that they pick me. They have to show me that they're interested, and then I'll figure out a way to.
So is that kind of how the Karrueche song kind of came about? That there was a mutual kind of interest, because the
Karrueche thing was kind of like just trying to piss him off, and it worked. And then she took it to the head, and I'm like, whoa. Knock it off.
You weren't saying anything like what?
Well, let's build.
Wait, wheel that. Come on again.
I don't like women that are built like preteens. Like I like all shapes and sizes. Like it's a difference between petite and
So
just
are you
like
saying Karrueche's like a little boy with makeup? Is that what you're saying?
You said it.
I didn't say that.
So I saw
She's
on
pretty,
Vlad.
though.
I saw on Vlad.
I just didn't appreciate all that.
You and Chris met her at the same time, right? Around the same
Not
time.
that we met her at the same time, but she had a homegirl coming through.
Right.
I chose up on a homegirl, and Chris chose up on her.
Okay, so let's go back. Karrueche's like so far down the line.
Yeah,
let's go back
The
to
song
where,
is dope.
So,
The song
this is what I'm trying to get.
I
Hold
really
on,
like
hold
the
on.
song.
There's a lot online that I'm trying to get to. So you guys are working together. You signed to CBE. You became Chris's producer / artist, right?
Swag stylist.
But in terms of music, artist,
Right.
and producer.
Right.
So you're producing music. How did it go from working cohesively to falling out? Was it just that you felt like maybe he thought you were hotter than him, so he put his thumb on you, or what was it?
I mean, honestly, I don't think a man could really stop you from doing anything. I think I was my worst enemy. I took the business too personal.
But he didn't release you from your contract, so he did something. He tried to, from what you were saying online, hold you hostage.
Yeah, but in hindsight, I got like 5 other labels, battling over me right now. I do acting, other things. I don't really need a Chris Brown deal.
Okay.
I just did that to show the world, don't fuck with me.
Okay.
Because I could make you look stupid.
So for everybody who doesn't know your history, you are a really prolific songwriter. You have a ton of hits out there.
It's nice. She want a nice one.
I mean, we're listening to Deuces, which is one of the, like Jason said, the song that brought him back from the dead. But tell the audience some of your other major hits so that they know exactly what's happening here.
I wrote on Birthday Cake with The Dream for Rihanna. I wrote on Justin Bieber's Christmas album. I wrote, what is it called? Next Breath for Tank.
Ooh, I love that song. Yeah.
I have a crush on Brandy. But that's other news.
Okay.
No, we're gonna get to all that. I'm just here's the deal. I'm asking the questions that the people want to know. Like I can
People don't want to know no questions.
No, people want to understand how the relationship became so toxic. And I've Google searched everything. I've read all the interviews. I've watched the YouTube interviews. I see it. I'm trying to still understand it. To your point, did he meet Karrueche at the same time? No, I introduced Karrueche to Chris with 12 other girls. He chose. I wanted her for Omarion. I've told the story. Omarion couldn't get it. He fell a little short. I don't know. Wasn't eating the groceries at the time. Chris got her. Okay.
Things happen.
So now they're working together. Y'all fall apart. There was some social media posts where basically you said he had to come and catch the fade. Is the fade still waiting for Chris Brown, or did y'all settle it?
Man, nobody want to fight me, man, and I don't want to fight nobody. I want to promote love, especially what's going on right now. I don't think anybody wants any kind of fades from the police or from me.
Okay,
because they both bad.
So, well, Chris kind of popped off on social media and said that, I mean, I don't know, he started doing the Pyru thing because he's a gang member now, right?
I guess.
You're from Watts, right? So I'm from Chicago. I'm not from LA.
I'm from all over LA, Gardena, South Central, Inglewood.
But how do you feel about, like, it just seems like rappers and all these people that aren't from here, they're coming here and now they're, you know, they're Bloods, they're Crips, stuff like that. Like, how does that make you feel being somebody that's from the soil, that's from the culture, that you grew up with that around you?
You gotta pay to play. I guess they paying to do something. When you get homeboys that get shot and you get guns put on you, you know, like this week, you know, and you got two daughters, the shit ain't cute. And it's stupid.
You had guns pulled on you?
Yeah.
Well, speaking
lots of times this month.
Yeah, I mean, like, I just want to keep 1,000. Like, again, as a fan, I'm talking as a fan of music, fan of you, fan of Chris. I love Chris's music. I'm not necessarily a fan of him.
Do you like his perm?
I'm a fan of his music. I'm not.
Y'all
really
kind of had the same.
No, actually,
texture.
my shit isn't
Yours is
texturized.
natural?
My shit is just, I wake up and brush it and just spray a little hole and I'm good.
Hold
on.
Okay.
So my question, very specifically, y'all fell out. I mean, you guys went online back and forth from You Can Catch the Fade to You Ain't No Real Gangster to Pootie Boy to, I mean, so many things that the fans read.
It's like after the Keke Palmer shit happened, I felt like he was hating, right? And I even got a text from his manager, like
Mike G.
No. His old manager,
Boo.
A woman, and she was like, "Look, he told us not to fuck with you."
Okay.
And she showed me the text, so I was like, I'm gonna sit on this for a minute because I got a bad temper. I'm gonna try something new and not fuck up my career, like I've been doing lately. And I just kind of sat on it for a minute and said, I'm gonna just prove him wrong. You know what I'm saying? That's when the Keke Palmer shit had already happened. And I said, I'm gonna just be a dope nigga and make him look stupid, you know?
When you say you
you
think you've been fucking up your career lately, do you think it's because you've been honest about how you feel in your experiences? Because one thing, let me say this real quick, I feel like in this industry, and you've been around longer than us in terms of having a real professional career, you know, when you're going against a giant or a superstar, it's really hard to have your voice heard against that because you can be put in a box or you can be blacklisted.
Right.
I don't see you, having known you personally, I don't think you're crazy. I think right now you're saying a lot of crazy shit and being very descriptive on how you feel, but it's just real shit for you.
There's some cleverness to it, but at the same time, it's kind of like when two people are arguing from a distance, you can't tell who crazy. So
that's true.
That's very
what I'm on.
true. That's
You know
very,
what I'm
very
saying?
true. That's very, very true. So I guess what we're looking for is, like, you know, the actual verbiage. So once you got the text, saw the text from his manager or former manager, whatever the case is.
Tina Davis.
It was Tina Davis?
Yeah.
Really? Anyways, I'm going to skate right by that. That's just too much to go into.
His ex-girlfriend.
You saw, you motherfucker.
That's what you were thinking.
So you were hot-headed. Once you cooled down, did you text him to address, like, yo, I saw the text, you're telling your team not to fuck with me, like, what's up? Like, I don't understand. Was there that kind of exchange?
I didn't say anything. I just tried to, like, just kind of change the polarity of the whole situation, just mentally, just bringing positivity, just being a good person.
Okay, so how does it go from that to Chris, you know, filming his lifestyle, his cars, and saying, what's up, Kevin? I mean, you know, just basically poking the sleeping bear.
There was a tweet that Kevin sent out that basically said, I'm done being nice. I want you to let me out of my fucking contract.
And it goes right before that, but all that was a ploy to get him, because he won't talk on the phone, he won't handle any business. If you go through the lawyers, you know, that's legalese, some shit I don't speak, but I'm learning. Amen. And it's some shit that just gets drawn out in court, and I hate court. But
so then it went from there to, when I see you, I got a fade waiting for you.
I took it to the street politics, you know, but not necessarily on some Crip and Blood shit, because then that's some whole other shit.
On some grown man shit, like,
on some
come
man
and see me
shit.
as a man.
Yes. You know?
Do you think that'll happen?
Nah.
So y'all are never gonna hug it out. No hugging it out.
Man, we probably make some more hits, you know what I'm saying? Some more hits.
So you're willing to...
You know what I really think we should do on my mama?
Some more hits or some more hits?
We should do a charity boxing match or a UFC match. Like, we could go closed fists or gloves, and then we donate the money to like domestic violence. Like he was convicted.
You are a comedian. Add that to the resume.
He was convicted for beating a woman. I was accused of beating a woman. I'm not guilty.
Not only did he accuse you of that, he also accused you of being a rapist as well in one of his tweets. And then you sent out a picture of Rihanna. And
it's just a difference between accusations and you know.
You apologized for sending out that picture for Rihanna.
I did, because I didn't realize what I was pulling her out. And if that was my daughter, I would get mad again.
But you did that to remind him that we have receipts of you beating women.
Right.
You're trying to label me as
mine is just some girl gone. You ever seen that movie, Gone Girl?
Gone Girl.
I'm on some shit like that. Y'all don't have to believe me, but watch the movie. That's my life.
So Kevin, let's say you and Chris set up this charity boxing match, right?
Yeah.
How many rounds does this
do it
thing
in
go?
Compton, because I'm really from there.
Okay,
I'm from Virginia.
All right, so we do it in Compton.
126 in Mona.
Let them know. How many rounds does it go? You knocking them out in the first round? Is this going?
I'm not
distance?
in shape right now, so I'm gonna just try to get it in 3. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a brawler. I don't box. I never been a boxing type nigga. I'm just strong, and
You're a street fighter.
Well, you know, this show is sponsored by the money team.
fresh
He might
ones.
need to sign with Mayweather Promotions.
I ain't no Kimbo or nothing. Like I'm a pretty. You see, my face ain't been hit.
No scratches.
Because I win. I try not to.
So,
And if you keep fighting, you gonna meet that one nigga who wants to, you know, chip your head off.
Now, a lot of industry cats, they have these social media beefs, and it's like on site, and then it's
Weirdos.
okay. So now you bump into them on site. Who's swinging first, and does it even go there?
have
Or
you guys ran into each other since all of this went down?
No, we haven't ran into each other since this went down. And I be everywhere by myself, but since that one situation happened, you know, I kind of try to walk around smarter. It ain't no fear type shit. It show me, hey, maybe you're a star. It's dumb niggas are gonna try to fuck with you. You can't
So
just be.
the situation that you're discussing is when Karrueche had a hitman come for you.
It wasn't a hitman came from me.
I'm just summing it up.
So what happened? So there are reports that Karrueche had somebody pulled a gun on you because of Karrueche.
We finna clear this shit up. Wasn't no hitman, wasn't none of that. God damn. This is why I hate blogs.
What happened? You don't hate Hollywood on Lock though, because we just report the facts.
Love you. But basically, after I didn't even want to go out for BET Awards, but I went out for BET Awards, and after the club, I told my security go home. I left with 2 girls because I was hanging out with 2 girls, and they said we're gonna go to a private party where Odell Beckham is at. Not throwing you under the bus, bro. You just was there. That's why I went. So then when I get there, I don't really know whose house I'm at, but we're in Beverly Hills. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, it can't be too ghetto. You know what I'm saying? This ain't like house party 5, like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? So I feel real comfortable. My guard is down. I walk in. First person I see is this pretty petite little Karrueche, right? And she's sitting with a table full of stylists or something, right? So then I say, oh shit, I get goosebumps because I haven't seen her since I made Karrueche. And I'm wondering, like, I wonder if she does.
You sound
like
amazing on that song. By the
You
way.
really do.
That song is dope.
Thank
And
you.
I wouldn't have
gave
taken
her my
offense
all.
to somebody making a song like that of me.
She's not offended. Trust me.
Oh, well, hey.
Trust me.
Tell the story.
One time in the studio, her and her homegirl was grabbing my butt while I was trying to make beats, and I was like, look, I don't do that. Ain't gonna be no grabbing of the tushy.
No finger banging over here.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So you walk in.
Do that to your boyfriend.
You walk in the house. Karrueche's sitting there with some stylists. Basically,
Right.
what he's saying, she was there with a bunch of gay boys.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't
Were
say
they
that.
gay boys?
I don't think so. Were
Were they boys?
They were boys.
They were gay boys.
They
Okay,
were the kids.
So when you walk in and you see her,
Eva calls them the kids.
you get a little whatever. So then what happens?
Butterflies.
Does she say hi to you? Does she?
I
speak
get
to you?
nervous, and then so I don't walk all the way in. I'm like, I wonder what's gonna happen. Everybody's looking at me. I'm thinking it's because of the song. So I'll continue to walk with my cocky ass. I continue to walk past them, right? And I walk. As soon as I walk past, they all go, "What the fuck? What is this nigga doing here?" I'm still not thinking like, where am I at? I'm like, well, they're at the same party I'm at. I mean, because the night before I was at Tyrese's house, some of the same people were there. You know what I'm saying? So I go to the back of I go to the backyard and I'm just chilling. Everybody stopping what they doing and just looking like one by one. I'm like, what the fuck? Right? So I'm laughing. I'm thinking it's because of the Karrueche song. And then like four dudes in like red come up with red hats. And a big swole nigga like 230 come up and he like, hey, you ain't welcome here, my nigga. Hey, take a walk with me. And I know what that mean. That we ain't finna go walk down memory lane. Like we y'all finna try to jump me. So at that point, I'm trying to figure, okay, I can't run out the backyard. This Beverly Hills, it ain't made like that. I'm like, okay, let me try to brace the next blow. Is he gonna try to sneak me from behind, or what's gonna happen? So 4 other dudes walk up, and they trying to walk me to the door. So I try to get a little more space. So I walk a little fast. Then I walk past Karrueche. I had to look cool on that part.
Had to swag it on now.
And then I had to speed it back up. I tried to get to the door, right? And then the big dude like, man, like I said, you ain't welcome here. Matter of fact, who invited you here, homie? Like is the dude pulling up?
No, you're good. Right. No, you're not being set up.
Because I've been trying to find him. I don't know who he is.
You're good.
Anyway, so I'm trying to go to the door. I said, you said I ain't welcome. I could let myself out. And it's 4 of y'all and 1 of me. I know how this gonna go. No. So I go to the door, right? And he tried to lock it. He like, no, hold up. Matter of fact. And then I opened the door. I pushed him out the way. I opened the door, and I had on my Omega Sci-Fi jacket, and I didn't have on no shirt because I was turned up at the club, right? So when he tried to grab me, I came right out the jacket, and then I jumped over the gate, and then he pulled a gun, and his homeboy was like, no, don't shoot him right here. Don't shoot him. I hop over the gate. I run to Melrose, or was it Beverly? I run to Beverly, and then I hop in the parking lot and hide under a car, and I call the girls who took me there. I'm like, did you motherfuckers set me up?
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, it don't matter. Come get me.
Yeah.
I got to figure it out. So I had paranoia for a minute, but I gave it to God. And
wait, so do you think that happened as a direct result of the Karrueche song, or do you think that was Chris's people that were there around Karrueche?
I've been going through that my whole damn life. Like, I think it's just like the light that's on me and the calling that's on me, but I learned how to control it with my mentality.
So how did the rumor get started that it was Karrueche that set these
He sent
guys?
out a tweet.
She was there, so it has to be her friend.
So he sent out a tweet.
And I still don't know where I was at.
He sent out a tweet. Kevin sent out a tweet that that basically Karrueche had set him up for somebody to shoot him.
No, I didn't.
What was the tweet?
I was talking to her because a lot of times when I speak, it's not for everybody else. It's for who it's intended for. And sometimes it might be that one person. I look crazy to everybody else for that one person, to get what I'm saying. And I was telling her, you know who it was because you was right there. You was watching.
And you said you went and got a piece after this incident?
No, yeah, I went and got a pretty girl. You know, I like models, so I got me a diamond.
Hold on. But what he said was some fake thugs pulled a gun on him for the Karrueche comments.
Yeah, because that's a fake thug to me. Like, I really know thugs. I know Pyros, Bloods, everything, because my cousins are all that. You know, I'm from LA. So my family is literally everything. So I don't get into all that. I'm a gospel singer, but he was trying to take me there, and I almost went there. You know, it's finna get ugly in the streets.
I mean, Otis Redding and Sam Cooke never had these problems.
No, they fucking did not. So
is real.
Has Karrueche responded to any of this?
She hasn't said anything.
She hasn't said a word
publicly.
Okay, all right.
That's funny too. Like, I mean, speak up.
And when you made Karrueche, what was the whole thought process behind that? The concept
to annoy Chris.
To annoy Chris, but make it fun, make it romantic and clever. Turn women on. Turn Karrueche on, let her know, stop playing. You like Tyson, I'm the Watts Tyson. Let's get it poppin'.
But does she really like Tyson Beckford?
Yeah.
Did they see, now I almost called her Karrueche. Karrueche's actually a friend of mine, so I'm not being disrespectful.
She always say, you look like Tyson. Oh my God, K-Mac, you look like Tyson.
And her and Tyson were hanging out for a little while. I mean, I don't know that they were messing around or anything, but they were definitely hanging out.
That's him, man.
So,
who else you gonna hook me up with this time?
Well, I hooked you up with Jordin, and clearly you don't want to claim her publicly. So
she like Dacian Derulo, and I don't put on baby oil and pop.
So how far did you and Jordin go?
You want me to really tell it?
I want you to really tell it.
She gonna kill me for this.
That's okay.
I'll let her sit on my face.
Wow.
That's it. And it tastes like water.
I will tell you this: there was definitely no air in that fucking situation.
Fiji.
So I hooked you up with Bria Miles too. Where did
Sorry,
that go?
Jason.
Well, Jason's moved on. He hooked up with Daphne Joy. May she rest in peace too. So I hooked you up with Bria Miles. Where'd that go?
No, you didn't.
I introduced you guys.
She didn't like me because I was broke. She took me. I took her to Grand Lux. I barely had enough money for the deal.
This is why I like
that.
Kevin.
Was like.
I'm gonna tell you why I like Kevin. Kevin is a Leo, and he's a creative Leo. And
I'm from Compton.
And I thought you were from Watts.
Watts, Compton.
Oh, is it the same thing?
Gardena,
my car shuts off past Wilshire, so I don't really know anything other than Hollywood. Shout out to the homie here. Keep your eye on him.
I've been watching him.
Okay, thank you.
I got my man taking no chance.
He was in his ear. Didn't have no shame in his game. Goddamn, Obama could have been here.
So Evan just shared how Jordin sat on his face. Why didn't you guys ever continue to build that relationship? I mean, she needs a hit, and you got him.
You ain't gonna believe me if I tell you the answer, but I'm gonna tell you.
Tell me.
My manager at the time, who wasn't a manager, he was just my big brother who was pretending to be my manager.
Okay.
and we was trying to figure out the music game. Hence why we signed to Chris Brown. He told me, "Hey, K-Mac, you still in your player shit? Don't fuck her over, cause that Jason Lee is gonna fuck you over in the media. He gonna call you a playboy.
I would never.
And your career gonna be over."
I've never listened.
So I cut it off with her.
I get a bad rep because whenever you think about bloggers, you think media take
You
out.
told me not to break her heart, though. That's
I
what
did
said.
tell you that. I'm a fucking good guy. I wish
He
people,
is.
And so
He
I
is
did.
such
He
a good
gave real
guy.
advice.
I am
And so I
sick
didn't
of-
break my heart. Where's my credit?
You didn't break her heart, but you may have broke her. What is-
Cherry?
Yeah, I was trying to think of the female anatomy, not my
Nasty,
expertise. I just don't know.
Let's do it, man.
But anyway, okay, so let's talk about women. I remember I did the Trayvon Martin campaign. You and Eva Marcille were one of the first people to come and shoot.
Yes.
One of the best pictures from that
My child's
campaign.
mom.
It was gorgeous.
Amazing picture.
Absolutely
They both
gorgeous.
Style, swag. I mean, and that was at the time where you had told me she was pregnant at that shoot. She had just gotten pregnant. And I had joked with them. I was just like, y'all gonna have a baby. They're like, ha ha ha. Then the next time I saw them, they were with child. So y'all have gone from that to you and her fighting it out publicly. I think she got a restraining order. What happened?
My temper, I hit things, I break things. So when the whole calling the police thing happened, the evidence was my tantrum. You know what I'm saying? Even though I didn't do what she said, the evidence was the
What
cracked
did she
door.
say? Because
She said
there was the
I mean,
accusation that
you could look it up. She said
Yeah.
I chased her. You could even, to make a long story short, she said I put her and the baby at harm, which is something I would never do. But one thing I learned from going to therapy, which I've been doing with a young Vincent, and just other people like that, I've learned just how I could get myself out of those situations and how I can control my temper to not be in these situations.
Okay, so there was a situation where you saw photographs of Eva's brother, I want to say, with your little girl, and you went
the fuck
off
off.
on Twitter. You basically
Well, it's a couple of things y'all talking about, and y'all lumping them together. So I'm gonna help y'all there. I'm gonna do
Okay,
it fast.
thank you.
So you might be talking about Terrell, which is her cousin,
okay.
and I was talking about a picture with like him and his boyfriend kissing my baby. I don't get to kiss her. I don't want y'all kissing her. It has nothing to do with none of that. I don't let my sisters kiss her.
That was something
But
completely
let me
different.
let me be fair and setting it up that you and I have been friends for a long time. I don't know you to be homophobic or to be uncomfortable with gay people.
Right.
We're good friends. So just kind of throw that out there because
Yeah.
I think it's easy
So it
when
annoys me when people say that.
when
I'll
a
be like,
person goes
"You're
on a
an
rant
idiot."
or when a person says something,
Yeah.
you've had your words dissected.
Yeah.
You can take somebody's words and try to paint this picture. I know Kevin is a friend, and I know he's not homophobic.
Right.
There was a photo with Terrell, and he had said something about, I think he called himself daddy or something like that.
I don't like that shit. That's all it is.
And we said this shit before. No. The other day I was at Floyd's house, and we were talking about Sierra marrying Russell Wilson and letting Russell kiss him on the mouth and call him Papa.
Yeah, call him Papa.
You gonna send a black man into pure rage, especially if
on
they love
purpose.
their child and they're active in their child's life. So that's kind of what it looked like happened with you.
That's what happened with me. And
With Terrell.
that's what happened. And I had to take you to the new me. The old me, I was pissed. I was like, I don't really get to see my baby. I mean, I'm broke as fuck, so I can't pay a lawyer to go see my baby. What kind of world is this? That's the kind of level I was operating on. But now I'm going back to what they taught me. It take a village to raise a child. And that's true because it's areas in my life I got great parents, but they fucked up a lot. I got a great dad. He worked with probation kids. I still ended up in jail. I got a great mom. She's a Bible school teacher. She still let me down in some areas. I still got molested as a child, shit like that. So it's like everybody had their faults, and you just got to grow from it and learn.
Okay, well, speaking on that, I was going to address the whole, cousin and homophobic rant, that you were accused of. But no, her brother, there was something else there where you basically went on a rant of, this is the same motherfucker you said molested you, and you're going to have my daughter around him? Are you crazy? And
Right.
so how did that start and end up? Where is that? And what about the accusations?
You just got to go back to
In
me.
terms of the
You
truth
got to go
behind
back
them.
to me doing the whole "woe is me" narrative. Like, I don't have communication with her. I don't have communication with these people. So I project my thoughts or stuff out in the media so that y'all talk about it, or they homies, somebody you gonna hear about it,
and it'll
goddamn
make
it.
sure they get the word.
You know what I'm saying? Or somebody gonna know the fuck shit you doing. If I really did hit you, I would have went to jail. You know what I'm saying? So why am I not seeing the baby? I'll go to the police station and get the baby or whatever. It's fuck shit. Let's just leave it alone. It's because I didn't marry you.
But you just mentioned, you just shared, which is something very personal. I was molested as a child. You were molested. Was there a part of you that personalized the fact that she had shared something to you that you could relate to?
I didn't even know I could relate to it, at the time. It was something I hid until recently. I didn't even know about it.
What made you, how did you discover it?
Because I've been going to therapy, and I
So it was
realized
repressed memories?
it was repressed memories, and I realized why I hate authority and why I'm so controlling and why I don't want my daughters around people without me being around, because I can't protect them and stop them from going through what I went through.
And this is what I think is so frustrating too, especially knowing people that are celebrities or that are in the public eye like you. Like, they're human beings. Celebrities are human beings. And I think when you strip away what you see online or what you see on social media, human beings find their own creative ways of making people get the point. There was a point where I was a heavy drinker, and I used to literally whatever I felt came the fuck out on my social media, and I got labeled crazy, messy, this, that.
That's where the labeling comes from. That?
But now I'm on the money team. I'm popping. Okay, so fuck.
Don't need $5.
No, I told Floyd about you last night. I did say I wanted to introduce you to Floyd. The money. Shout out to the Money Team Music Group. I'm definitely gonna make that plug, because
the Money Team.
At the end of the day, regardless of like the online antics or politics or rage or whatever, you are very talented, and you did resurrect the career of somebody who's humanly flawed and socially flawed, and in many ways has not even reached his fullest potential. So I mean, listen, I'm just a real motherfucker.
And also might be responsible for getting in his own way.
Chris Brown is absolutely in his own way.
He's on his own worst enemy.
And shout out to Joyce and everybody that are trying to help him. But at the end of the day, as you know, you can't be helped until you're ready to help yourself.
And sometimes it just seems like we like twins or some shit. Like we could learn a lot from each other. And it's like I dropped the ball the first time around because I had a lot of fears. Like, I came from the hood and I was around all you Hollywood people. I had never seen that. I was playing football. I mean, I was finna play for the Raiders.
And you got thrusted into some shit.
So the shit was weird, man. So
Kevin, therapy is working for you. You are so
like night and day.
He's just
no. But let me say this:
he's
knowing Kevin personally and in person, he's always to me been like this. I've never seen the social media Kevin that
different.
I read. And
I learned a lot more about myself since
I ain't gonna lie. I did text him a couple times like, "Yo, bro, want to interview?" And he was like, "I ain't fucking with you."
This goes beyond diplomacy. Like, it's just like it's a lot of personal growth that I can hear just from the way that you're just talking. It's there's a real dichotomy between the people, what people think they know about you and really who you are. And I feel like this is the realest interview you've ever given. Everything else has been, just like sugar and whatever.
Exactly.
But this is
I've been sugarcoating shit.
Kevin, do you ever wish that you would have stayed the football route at all?
Man, lately
that
I've
fork
been
in the
wanting to
road.
play. I was looking at some highlights yesterday. Not my highlights, but I was looking at highlights. But I'm like, what can I really do? Like,
what position did you play? You play running
I
back?
play running back.
Yeah.
Well, so
You're such a dick, Jason.
we talked about you and Eva the other day when we were at the Occupy City Hall event. You were there. Eva was there. Interestingly
Did they
enough,
talk?
wait, no, Lance
Okay.
Gross was also there.
That's hilarious.
No, look, I told my camera guy, I said, listen, I want to interview him,
Triangulate
him, and her, but keep the camera on all three of those.
Triangulate
motherfuckers, 'cause
that
shit might go
situation.
down.
Get that wide shot.
And I'm just for the record, I'm cool with everybody. Who knows after this interview?
Lance is happily married right now. He just took
is.
his wife on a birthday cruise.
Shout out to my HU brother Lance, man.
Shout out to
I
Lance.
see you.
And Eva.
Shout out to Lance Gross.
So where are you and Eva
I
now?
got the waves. Y'all waves twins.
So you and Eva now are co-parenting. How do you co-parent? Do you don't communicate, or do you communicate through a third party?
It's just a big difference between a father and a man with kids. Right now, I'm operating as a man with kids because I haven't went through the court process to get my children from out of the grasp of whatever she's doing. I haven't got all the knowledge, but I'm leaning toward it. I'm back and forth with it because I got to get my license. A nigga L's is dirty, shit like that.
So you're just getting it all together.
Getting all together so that when I do go to court, I just get my babies and we good.
So do you and Eva talk at all?
I mean, I talk to her. I make songs about her, try to talk to her like that, send it to her.
I saw that Instagram post that you sent. Was it Instagram or tweet that you sent out? Like, it's very complimentary. It was a beautiful picture of Eva, and you basically were, giving her her props.
She cute. It's hard to, forget about her. She's so fun.
It's hard to stay mad at that, huh?
Do you ever miss your relationship with her?
I just cherish the things I learned from it. It was, at first I thought it was like love lost, but now I cherish that time.
You're a Leo and she's a Scorpio.
Right. And I'm a Scorpio rising.
Oh my God.
We
Bad
get along. We're just not fucking.
That's why we get along, because we're not fucking.
Well,
and it will never happen.
I think we'll get along. I think me and you'll get along.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. This is, I actually said, before Kevin walked in there, I said, this is the only show in history that we will not talk about your vagina or try to hook you up on a date. And it's like, and every time we have a man in the studio,
it just happens.
Some type of energy happens. I need to learn that from you.
And he the one who said it.
It's that mother nurturing kind of thing that I've got
Some
going
type
on.
of Jason Lee.
So when you ate Jordin Sparks' pussy,
Hi,
or
babe.
she said on your face, yeah, well, that's the same thing.
Well, that's
I'm
what
trying to
Q
get this.
dogs do. You know I'm a Q.
No, but
Oh God
top
damn!
shelf.
He's a Leo and a Q.
Is Jordin Sparks a closet freak, or is she like?
She has nipple rings, don't she?
That,
I didn't know.
I mean, are women with nipple rings freaks or?
do you think I'm a freak, Jason?
I think so.
I don't know. I have a couple people I need to call for that answer. I won't say their name on air.
I did have a nipple ring, but my nipple rejected it.
So was she?
Nipples be rejecting? It's like credit. Like
I know. I liked it.
Let
you
me
ain't
I
got,
liked
you need a
it.
720.
let me leave Jordin Sparks alone because she and Joe are going to be upset at me for asking the question. But it's good to know that. See, this
Probably
is
happy.
This goes back to
It's
you
an
can
honor
be
to sit on my face.
You can be an American Idol and still get your pussy ate.
Yes, you can.
Okay. So
Bar watch nigga.
So
It's really hot in here.
so
Hold on.
this is going to be an interesting transition, but I'm going to try it.
Go do it.
After
Segue.
everything that's been said and done between you and Eva or your other baby mamas,
Okay.
what do you want your daughter or your children to know and understand about their father?
That their father was like just a boy who had to make a transition to manhood. I didn't have a quinceañera or a bar mitzvah.
You
So,
said it considered.
you know,
We hope you don't
as
have
black
a
men, we
quinceañera.
don't have that transition to manhood. But as I seeked help after fucking up, you know, with my family, I found myself. You know, hopefully I get a chance to get them back. But I learned sometimes people reach their goddamn limit, and you just gotta let them grieve how they gonna grieve. But hopefully they see I'm a new me.
So if we put all the politics aside, all the drama, all the social media stuff, all of that aside, what do you want?
All of it.
What do you want out of your relationship with Chris Brown? Ultimately,
I just want them to respect yourself. When you respect yourself, you respect everybody else.
Do you guys feel like you made a really good team? You know, in terms
Yeah.
of like, yeah.
Yeah, because like it was a lot of times where like I was saying, I had that fear. And I think that's what he was trying to talk about in the video. He didn't do it very well. He's not that articulate, and he got that lisp going on like Charlemagne. But you know, he wanted me to be a lot more forceful, and I think he used my little trick that I used on him. He used it on me. He brought the bulldog out of me. And it's funny, like growing up, my dad was my football coach, and he used to call me bitch or sock me or do whatever in football practice to make me fuck everybody else up. So sometimes people do that to make me mean.
do you ever get concerned about Chris's safety or his life? That maybe one day we'll see another Michael Jackson, another Whitney Houston, or something like that.
My worst fear is that it's partially my fault. You know, I already dropped the ball the first time. Then I tried the Martin Luther King shit. It made me pissed. So then I went Malcolm X. And then I saw kids looking at me, and I was like, some of them liked it, but at the same time I saw it was so many people watching me. And I was like, fuck, I can't get this nigga killed. Like, and I don't want to get killed. Like, this is stupid. Like, I could change this shit. I could be the one to change it. And I am. So I see it's changing it, honestly.
Can you see a day where you and Chris come together and make some more hits?
Definitely, man. Like, who's
That's
some
good.
people that
That's-
got together and back in the day? Did Dr. Dre and Snoop get back?
Did they?
Yeah.
I can't remember. They did, right?
I just
they
watched
did.
Straight Outta Compton. I,
I mean-
didn't see that.
Yeah, I was watching it yesterday.
I don't know.
I have no idea.
If Destiny's Child.
But you
No,
know what?
it's fine.
I will also say that, you know, I live by one of my. You're
And that's the
stupid.
other thing. We not a group either. Like,
Yeah.
he could take a song. That was my other thing. I used to tell people, like, he can get a song whenever, or we could collaborate, whatever. I collaborate with bums on the street, literally. Like, I used to be on Skid Row making songs with bums.
So are you still signed to CB?
I am not signed to CBE as a artist.
Okay.
But he has paperwork that, you know, we handling in court.
Okay. So I guess the question would be, I mean, at least for me, the way I live my
And he's
life.
still being a bitch ass nigga, if that's what you want.
Huh?
He's
He's
still
still
being
being-
a
Oh, no.
bitch-ass
What I was gonna say was thank you for clarifying. What I was saying, like for
Bitch-ass nigga.
me, one of my rules for life, literally, whether it's work, love, partnerships, anything, is life does not go in reverse. It
Right.
just is not set up to work that way. You don't read a book backwards. You don't watch a movie backwards. We don't drive backwards. Life is all about moving forward.
Progressing.
So maybe the question isn't, do you think you ever work with Chris again? Because that chapter's already happened. So what's next for Kevin McCall?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like my whole life.
Money Team Music Group.
Yeah,
maybe?
I'm definitely gonna do some stuff with Floyd. I've always been a fan of him. Like I said, I'm going to Vegas to turn up the whole weekend, get away from this music shit, get away from LA, get away from the hood, and turn the fuck up. I'll probably run into Floyd. Is he out there?
He's out there. Maybe
Put in the car for me.
Maybe we
You
can
got
set
all the
something up.
plugs.
I'll see where Red is. Okay, so did you have another question?
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say, like, just in terms of shutting everything down. I mean, you're gonna go to Vegas, you're gonna turn up, but like, how do you just kind of quiet the noise in your head? Because I'm sure there's a lot. I don't want to like.
I smoke marijuana.
Alrighty then.
I self-medicate
That's all right.
myself.
Nice,
So
nice.
so does she.
Right, but
Bin Laden
it's not
blowing
good
up my
for your
spot?
lips.
If they follow your Snapchat, motherfuckers know you high, stretching all together and shit.
I wouldn't know that you smoke.
Oh,
Your lips are too pretty.
Like
I wouldn't
a-
think
thank
that you
you.
like a chimney.
thank you.
Okay, well, listen, I will wrap by saying that, I learned a lot in this city about calling people friends. I don't even do it no more. If you look at how I was back when we first met versus now, I don't even have a circle.
I used to get on you about that.
I know.
You can't have
Yeah.
that fear of rejection.
But I would
though,
say
man. It's a killer.
I'm a true friend of yours. I do appreciate you, and
Likewise, man.
we gonna figure out how to get things together. And however I can help, however we can help, we definitely want to. Because Kevin,
Absolutely.
no doubt, makes great music, and the world needs that. All this R&B beef shit. I mean, whether it's you fighting Chris or fighting his demons, or your demons fighting his demons, like the world needs good music, whether it's through Chris or somebody else. So.
I absolutely agree. Thank you so
support
much
you.
for stopping
Thanks for
by,
always
Kevin.
taking care of me.
Wait.
Kevin.
One thing.
Yeah.
Where the fuck can we find you? Because somebody deactivated some of your social media accounts. So
Yeah, I was putting up too much like Black Lives Matter type shit. This is a true story. I was
that
putting
what-
up too much.
wow.
It
That's
was
what
a
happened?
mixture between that and the Team Breedy said it got deleted.
So where did we find you now?
At I am Kevin McCall though, THO.
And that's on Instagram.
That's on Instagram.
And
And you can find everything.
Twitter's
from
the
there.
same.
Twitter's the same for the most part. I mean, if you just search Kevin McCall, my Instagram is the most important thing because I send it to every other thing.
Okay, I am Kevin McCall though.
Yeah.
And follow me on my Snapchat because that's where you see my playful side. I want to show people I'm a big clown. I'm a big kid.
See, Jason doesn't understand that that's what I'm trying to do with my Snapchat.
The real you.
But you got to do a certain way. No shade to my boo. I love you, Brandy, but your Snapchats be weird. I'll be like,
What does she
Wait,
do on her
wait, I'm
Snapchat?
sorry. I totally forgot something. Are you and Brandy fucking, or is that just
No.
You guys are just that was just playing
That's
for
just
social
my
media.
friend, like-
okay, I love Brandy.
What's going down on her
like how
Snapchat?
she's going to be my friend.
No,
I'm gonna be
because
friends.
him and Brandy they were rumored to be dating, and almost
Right.
almost doesn't count. So I didn't
I just
know if
like
they were
her
kind of
voice.
dating or not
I
dating.
like her voice. And
maybe
beautiful.
she's his best friend or baby. I don't know.
I'm a huge fan of Brandy's music.
I just be sitting up in her room.
I was just about to say that. Hopefully she's not sitting on your face like Jordan was. But anyway, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you so much, Kevin.
Thanks, Kev.
Right.